Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock, and I would like to call to order the September 24th meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the September 10th meeting. They are in your packet. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve? And it's approved unanimously. Next up is the consent docket. There are nine items on the consent docket. Number of contracts being awarded, number of contracts being renewed, pricing agreements, and some amendments on the consent docket today. Are there any items on the consent docket that the trustees would like to poll for discussion or individual consideration? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent docket? And it passes unanimously. There are a number of items on the concurrence docket. There are actually 9 items on the concurrence docket. The first 3 are concurrence items with the City of Oklahoma City, and there are no AQUIT funds involved in any of those 3 items. The next 6 items all have to do with the McGee Creek Authority. The McGee Creek Authority met last week? Week before. Week before down in Atoka. A number of staff went down. Mr. Stonecipher was down there with Mr. Browning and myself, and we dealt with all of those items which were approved at the McGee Creek Authority at that point in time. So with that premise, are there any items off the concurrence docket that the trustees would like to pull for individual consideration? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the concurrence docket? We have a motion and a second, and it's approved unanimously. There are no emergency construction contracts today. There are 3 items for individual consideration. The first 2 have to do with Tinker Air Force Base. Mr. Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Each year we true up the cost to provide services to Tinker Air Force Base, water, wastewater, operation, maintenance, and repair services. This is the year 3 true up is item A. It's about a $360,000 adjustment. And then item B is the approval of the amendment to the contract accordingly. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Any questions? Since it's Tinker, let's do these 2 items separately. So is there a motion for item 6A? And it passes unanimously. And then item 6B is the amendment. Is there a motion for that item? There is. Item C has 2 items on it. It's an agreement, but it's also the opportunity to go into executive session. I would like to go into executive session on this one if we could, just for a few minutes. So if we could go to item C2 and vote to go into executive session at the heel of the docket. And it passes. So we will be going into executive session at the end of at the heel of the docket. Items from trustees. Anything this afternoon? General manager reports.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. First and foremost, I'd like to thank staff. And when I say staff, I mean the trust section, I mean the engineering section, everybody who has anything to do with the development of this agenda. You all do a great job every 2 weeks, and we really do appreciate it. Secondly, give you a lake level report. Hefner is about 4.6 feet below full pool. put that in perspective, it was a couple of feet below last year at this time. Draper is approaching 5 feet, but this time last year it was a little over 5 feet. So we're not in too bad a shape. We've had a really hot, dry summer. Atoka is 2.7 feet below full, and McGee Creek is 4.3 feet below full pool, which is not uncommon. But on the other side of that, because of the cooler weather and the rain that we received over the weekend, our flow's been averaging over 140 million gallons a day through most of the summer, and it's dropped down to about 120 now. So it's going to help a bit. The Hefner Canal flow has not really increased. We didn't get a lot of flow on the upper end of the North Canadian this week, but maybe we'll get a little bit more here in the next month or so. So with that, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
But Canton's full.
Canton is full.
It's a nice thing to have. I'm not aware of any citizens to be heard, so we will recess to executive session. We have come out of executive session. We are back into open session with a little feedback. And we have an item still to be considered, and it is item B1, or 6B1. B, that's correct, 6C1. Are there any questions regarding the item? Is there a motion for approval? We have a motion is second. The item passes. There's no further items before the trust, therefore we are adjourned.